This here is my boat. I bought this last year for 1,500 bucks, trailer included. But now it's summertime and I need to get her pulled out, get her cleaned up, and get her ready for Father's Day weekend. I'm trying to take my brother, niece, and nephew out on the lake for some fishing. This is the reason we're pulling the boat out today. This tire is completely smoked and I'm having a real hard time getting it back into that spot. So I'm gonna use my emergency tire inflator, fill up that tire, bust out the trailer dolly, and get the turn made so I can put it over there and floor jack it, put it on jack stands. I could probably just reach my air compressor hose out here, but let's see if this thing works. I haven't used it in a while. Open up this battery. Oh, that battery's swimming in water. Oh no. Looks like we're gonna need a new boat battery, huh? On it. Ooh, gnarly. I need some gloves. 7 volts. That is toxic. Of course my microphone dies. The truck is disconnected. The trailer dolly did a good job of getting her realigned, and now she is in a good workable spot. So let's go through her real quick. This is what I believe to be a 16-foot Valco, although the boat does not have a model attached to the title. I think it's like early 80s or something, but it's got this cool little custom front console over here on the front right, and it's got full throttle controls. It does not have tilt, but it has full steering controls as well, which is pretty sweet. It's got a seat on the front bench, a seat in the middle, and a seat in the rear. And on the back we have a Mercury Tracker 25 horse 2-stroke. Now it is definitely a $1,500 boat, but it came with a battery and it came with the trailer as well as some oars, life jackets, all that stuff in order to be legal, fuse kit, all that good stuff. I got some magnetic trailer lights from Harbor Freight and put them on not too long ago. The transom is pretty weak when I'm driving. The engine will take a pretty good bounce. And so the previous owner had this block of wood crafted up, and you slip it down underneath that rear roller and it helps keep the engine propped up during transport. What are you eating? Munching on some wood? Yeah, good snacks. So it's got this little drift plate, and what you do is you pull this string here and this drops down and it limits your force coming off of the prop, so it slows down your cruising speed a little bit, usually used for drifting. The shitty part is that you have to lift it up manually in order to get it to re-engage. So once you drop it down while you're in the water, unless you're going swimming, you're not going to get it back up again. Also came with this nice little 2-stroke gas can with a gas gauge on it. I'll probably have to check that, make sure we don't have any water in the fuel. These seats are in pretty good shape, although they've sat closed for a long time, but they were really nice before I parked it. They swivel, they're extremely comfortable, and this boat will seat 3 people very comfortably inside the bay. Definitely don't want to take it outside the bay though. She's pretty shallow, and she does take on a little bit of water because it's a riveted hull. This driver's seat, and passenger seat. Someone also put this plate on the front. I assume it's for pulling crab pots. Cool thing is, it is threaded right here for a block and tackle, and the boat also came with, you guys can see the back of the garage, it also came with this block and tackle here, so you can screw this threaded piece into the base of the boat and you can pull crab pots with it, which is pretty nice. Now I doubt it wants to run with 7 volts in it, but let's see if she does crank it all. Hey, she almost went. Let's prime it up real quick, put some of this water in the fuel tank into the engine, huh? Now I know you shouldn't run boats without the bunny ears hooked up, but I just want to see if it cranks real quick. I've seen no nonsense know-how work on boats and take the impellers apart after firing up dry for a second, and it doesn't do any harm. Hey. Let's give it a little choke. Hey, look at that. And she's a runner. All right, well, she runs. That's a good sign. I haven't fired this thing up in months. We got some little plants growing out of this thing. Look at that. Got some vegetation growing in the boat. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna pull the lower unit off one day soon and replace the impeller in it. I've never done one before, so it'll be a good learning opportunity. But we're definitely not gonna run it for too long right now. Next step is let's get this thing up on jack stands. I wanna pull these wheels and tires off, inspect them for leaks, and get them to the tire shop for replacements. Never jacked up a boat before, but I assume going off the axle is gonna be the best route, and then I'm gonna try to slip a jack stand underneath this leaf spring perch. Okay, she is jacked up. Now let's go get the Ugga-Dugga gun and try to pull off these rusty ass looking lug nuts. They actually look like lug bolts. Let's see, if I could take a guess, I'm gonna guess it's probably a 21 or a 22 millimeter. Let's see here. Let's go with 21 and 22. Let's see, 22, dead nuts. First try. Of course they're gonna wanna get stuck in the gun. Oh, it's no longer a 22. Now it's downsized to a 21. One wheel off. The bearing actually feels surprisingly good. I'm gonna grease them up after we're done, but that thing feels really smooth and does not make any noise. This bearing sounds a bit worse. It looks like there's a grease seal on the back that's pushed out a little bit, although I'm gonna go compare it to the other side. Maybe some of you guys with boat trailers out there can inform me. It looks like I can hold this inner race, whatever it is, tight, but also at the same time it spins. And it looks like it's protruding out from the wheel bearing hub a little bit. Let's compare it to the other. This other side, that inner race stays stationary, and this spins freely without bringing it with it. So it's probably due for wheel bearings, but I might not do that today. It's been driving fine. I might drive it this weekend like that. We'll see. I'll try to get this posted up before some of you guys with some trailer knowledge can hopefully impart some wisdom on me. So this is problem tire. I'm gonna grind down the suspected crack area and hit it with some soapy water, see if it leaks. So I got some simple green. And it's also possible that it will only leak with the weight of the trailer and the boat pushing down on it, but I'm not seeing any bubbles, which is a good sign. Doubt we'll be able to find a puncture of any sorts, because it's a pretty slow leak. That's our culprit. Right there. So that's good news. We know that we just need tires. And that started leaking from dry rotting. That is exactly on the location of where it's cracking from being dry rotted. So we got plenty of life out of these 21-year-old tires. Time to get these down to the tire shop and get some fresh rubbers thrown on. I think I can fit 2 tires in this trunk. If you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking. Just kidding. I hate Crocs. They're the ugliest shoes ever. But they were a gift, and they work great in the garden. Yes! The tire hauler. Get the fly, Sage. Get it. Get the fly. Get it. Get the fly. Yeah, eat that thing. Yeah. Yum, 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 yum. Sky raisin. Yum, 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 yum. Munch it up. Good protein. Okay, Sage and I are gonna go get these tires down to the tire shop, get some fresh rubbers thrown on. I will try to get some clips while I'm down there for you guys. Maybe pick up some lunch on the way back, and I'll see you soon. Oh, that's a happy dog. That's a happy dog. Charging up in the sun. Load up. Gotta love this camper shell at the tire shop. Love this one right here. Patriotism means love of country. That is the truth. Yeah, can we refresh them? I'll pay the extra.
$5 a piece, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Just dry rotten rubber, dry rotten stem.
Yep. I always want to do them every set.
It's unnecessary to do every set.
Oh, yeah,
Literally
absolutely.
only every 20 years.
Hello. That guy with that camper trailer with all those messages gave me some literature on how he believes we can solve our country. That'd be interesting. Give this a read later on. Might just be a bunch of what's it, who's it, but I'd like to hear what he thinks. BMW did the recall on this airbag. I got a brand new leather insert for the steering wheel. It's a little misaligned though. This side is a little bit tighter gap, but it is really nice to have a brand new round L with some brand new leather on there for free. Gotta love BMW airbag recalls. Saw a sandwich place down the street, so I'm gonna go try to grab a sandwich. I'm gonna go scoop up a sandwich over here real quick. What do you think of that thing? Sandwich is secured. Classic Italian. We got ham, 3 types of salami, mortadella, provolone, roasted red peppers, pepperoncinis, lettuce, tomato, onion, oil and vinegar, salt and pepper on a French roll. That is one sleepy puppy. Look at that bad boy. That's a work of art. All right, wheels and tires are dropped off at the shop. We're gonna pick those up later on today. This thing could definitely use a cleaning. I got lots of pine and debris that have gathered up inside the boat over time. I'm thinking let's get it fired up too and hooked up to water and let it run for a little bit. I'm also gonna pick up a new marine battery for it today too. Got my bunny ears here. Get those over the inlet. Peeing. That thing just fired right up. It's a great motor. Getting good flow. Now, I haven't had to do a single thing to this engine. There was one fuel hose right here that didn't have a hose clamp on it, so I just zip tied it. And there was a little bit of fuel puddling up down there. Looks like we do have a little bit of liquid down there, so it's probably just some old two-stroke oil. But other than that, this engine is absolutely cherry. I haven't even put new plugs in it. I just put some fresh fuel and she fires up and she runs, and she's been trustworthy every time I've taken her out into the bay. I like to halibut fish with this boat. Well, I think next step, I'm gonna get the shop vac. Let's shop vac all this pine needle from the boat. Try to get it cleaned up a little bit. Well, she's looking better already. I got to get the boards back in the bow, but the floor's cleaned up real nice. I got a lot of the cobwebs sucked out. It's really just all pine needles. I can barely vacuum them up as fast as they're falling from this pine tree up above me. So, see that? This big old cluster right here. Anyways. This back bolt is spinning and this case is lifting and it wants to break. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm gonna go get a battery and some new terminals and then go try to pick up those tires. Let's see. This top post. Go with this group 27, a little bigger. This one. That one's a little too big. I'm gonna bump one down. Let's see, get some battery cleaner and terminal protector. What are you doing in my seat? Scoot over. Don't sit down. Move. Come on. Move over. I gotta sit down. 138 bucks for a battery plus battery cleaner and battery protectant. I remember when batteries used to be under $100 every time. Everything's getting too expensive nowadays. Here's our tires. Let's see. 205, 75, 14 bias plies. Power King. Load it up, good to go. Out the door, $2.30 and 30 cents. 90 bucks a piece for bias ply tires, mounting, balancing, tire feed, new valve stems, all that jazz. Okay. Before I get too far ahead, I want to cut this electrical tape. See what it looks like underneath. Okay, let's see if there's any acid on them. A little bit. Try these off real quick and then we'll retape them. Black to ground. The battery did have some of these ugly washers, so we can run one of these and that will help our spacing a little bit. Okay, that's a nice tight connection. Let's see if she fires up real quick. Battery connection is good. We need to clean up our battery box so we can put the new battery inside. Now this box had a bunch of corrosion and rust looking material, so I'm just swishing around some simple green. I'm just gonna wipe this out with a rag. So this is how the water got in, so I'm gonna need to do something about these holes before the next rain so I don't smoke this new battery. If I angle these, I can get them to come out of these ports. That's pretty good. Terminal protector. Okay. Battery is secured for now. I'm gonna put a little dab of anti-seize on the hub here. I don't want to put it on the actual lug bolts because it'll get super messy, but I'll put it on the hub. This technique usually works. Lift the wheel up with your legs. Grease these up while I'm here. All right, let's turn on some water and fire this puppy up. Beautiful. She fires instantly. Look at this. That's a great boat. Well guys, that's gonna wrap this one up. I'd say the boat is ready for the weekend. We put that new battery in. We also got some fresh tires on her and gave her a nice little cleaning. And I'm feeling confident enough to take her out onto the lagoon this weekend and do some fishing. I still need to potentially repair the wheel bearings, and I also need to go through the trailer lights, make sure that everything is functional and connected up to my truck, but hopefully that'll be a part 2 in the future. So I hope you enjoyed, or I hope you learned something new. And as always, folks, I'll see you on my next day off. Have a great weekend, all you fathers out there. Enjoy your Father's Day. Cheers.